So hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
John.
There are some questions to say about his upcoming album, Anthem Sprinter. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
I feel good. I didn't really know what to expect. The songs are really old. The record's actually quite old. And so you never really know how people will respond, especially when it's been so much time since I recorded it and wrote the songs. But I think people who like loud rock music like it, and that makes me happy. So
that's good.
Yeah, right.
Now, you mentioned you've had it for a long time. You recorded even longer. Can you give us a rundown? How old is the record?
Yeah. I mean, some of the songs I wrote over a decade ago. One of the choruses I even wrote when I was 14, and I'm 37. So
Goddamn.
To give you some context. So the songs have been around a long time. I was in a band for about a decade called The Lonely Forest, and actually a lot of these songs are kind of left over from that era. And I recorded the record maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and then I actually asked Tooth and Nail Records to shelve it because I just didn't even know if I wanted to release it because it had been sitting around so long. But they were really patient and kind, and so here it is coming out in 2 days. So
goddamn, that's fucking
right.
awesome. Well, the record is very cool.
It is
Thank you.
incredible. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. That means a lot to me.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yes. So first of all, Anthem Sprinter is a Ray Bradbury reference. He's one of my favorite authors. And for a long time, for the last 20 years, I will take references to certain books that I love, the name of a chapter, name of a character, name of a book, whatever, and I'll just kind of put them in to my records, whether they're in lyrics, song title, or in this case, a record, like the name of a record. I think it felt appropriate because the songs are catchy and they're energetic. So Anthem Sprinter just felt like an appropriate title for the record. The album art is really important to me. So when I was young, like 8, 9, and 10, my dad would read me this book called Danger. And it was all about like people having near-death experiences with really terrifying animals.
Oh,
He would like read me this before I'd go to bed.
that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Nightmare fuels.
No, for real. And I actually think I developed like a fear of animals because of it. And
Oh, I wonder why.
yeah, right. And so, yeah, the front cover is a collage that I did taken from one of those pieces of art that's in the book. The back cover on the vinyl is another one with a grizzly bear attacking a hunter. So this album, I think because a lot of the songs I wrote when I was really young, and it was a time in my life where I was just really afraid and I felt chaotic. Like I was even afraid of who I was becoming as a young person looking to my future. I was like, I don't like who I am. So something about those images of this like chaotic, dangerous moment felt appropriate for the record.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
I mean, it's kind of hard to describe it because the songs are so old. I sit down and I write. If something good doesn't come out in like 10 minutes, I stop. So I don't force things. So I would say most of these like verses, choruses, lyrics, they came quickly. And what I do, even like 15 years ago, I would have demoed a song. So like recorded a rough draft, maybe demoed it again 6 months later. And then in this case, like they just sit around. I never use them. And so I kind of take bits and pieces of old songs and old ideas and I repurpose them until I like them enough to release them. So this record, Anthem Sprinter, was a weird process just because it took so long. And like I said, I wrote one of these courses when I was 14. I mean, I think I might have been a 9th grader.
Yeah,
So
checks out.
and I'm like approaching middle age and have children. So you know what I mean? It's kind of just an intense process. So
Absolutely.
Sure.
Now, we've established that, there are lines on this album that are from when you were 14 and the record was recorded 6 years ago and it's coming out in 2 days. Do you still feel attached to these songs at all? Do you resonate with what's being said, or are you just kind of like putting it out because you feel it's finally time to kind of turn the page on this project?
I mean, on one practical level, yeah, I just want to get it out so I can move on. Look, I struggled a lot with depression and anxiety when I was younger, and I still do on certain levels. And this record, a lot of the songs came from like broken relationships. And I don't think it matters. Like, even though I've been married since 2010, so like I haven't experienced a breakup for a long time.
Yeah.
Um, but there's still, I think it's just because they're general human emotions, I can still connect with them.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But I will say, because I write such like on my sleeve, heart on my sleeve lyrics,
Hmm.
sometimes singing these songs and hearing them feels like teleporting in time.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And I don't love hearing them. Like, my wife, if she was sitting here with me, she'd say, "Yeah, I don't really love like a few of these songs. I don't really want to hear them ever again." So it's one of those things that I think I have to kind of like weigh the cost benefit of releasing music like this.
Yeah.
I have to acknowledge that even though I might not connect with them, other people will.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of listeners who struggle with mental health issues, and so
Hmm.
and I know that because I do, and so I talk about it, and then they find some solidarity in that, so they share with me.
Hmm.
And so I feel really good releasing some of these songs because sometimes you just have to be able to say and speak out what you're going through. You have to be able to say, I'm not okay. Anyway, so I connect with the songs, but it is weird. I mean, like I could talk circles around this idea that like breakup songs from, you know, like mid early to like 2006. I mean, that's so
Hmm.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't know when were you guys born?
2002.
2004.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, but music's a beautiful thing, right? It's a vehicle for
Yeah.
our emotions and our experiences. Like, even if I would imagine some people listen to these songs and they'll draw their own meaning from them, and
Mhm.
Hmm. Of course.
that's
Yeah.
that's an incredible thing. So
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. And earlier you mentioned you kind of give your songs kind of like 10 minutes. If you don't crack it in 10 minutes, you just kind of chuck it. But are there any songs that kind of you ruled that exception out and you just kind of said, no, I need to work on this? Any songs that kind of took any extra time?
sure. So I should be clear in that there are songs that have taken me years to finish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is if I sit down at a guitar or a piano or a drum set, whatever I'm working on,
Mm.
if something doesn't happen very quickly that I find intriguing,
Mm.
that could be a guitar riff, it could be a melodic chorus, it could
Mm.
be a chord progression. If nothing happens quickly, then I
Okay.
kill it. But sometimes it could just be a drum beat,
Hmm.
and that's the thing that is intriguing to me. So I
Hmm.
record it and then I just allow it to exist almost like in a filing cabinet of ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, no, there have been songs that have taken me a very long time to finish, but it's more about lightning in a bottle.
Hmm.
Some people will sit down and they'll try to write a song for 2 hours and they hate it. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
that sucks. I don't want to do that. I'm old. I don't want to waste my time. So I just if it doesn't happen quickly, I don't chase it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
fair
Why
enough.
bother? So, which song off the record took the longest to write then?
Technically, Comeback Wrecker,
Hmm.
because that's the song. The chorus is from when I'm 14. The the verses were when I was probably 20, maybe 19 or 20.
Hmm.
The outro, for lack of a better term, it's kind of like a separate song, even in and of itself. I wrote that probably 6 years ago. So I mean, that's a pretty
Hmm.
long timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Took me a while.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So how'd the track list for your album come about? Did you write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle and see what fits? What was that process like?
That's a good question. I mean, I
Thank
obsess over track listings and running orders.
you.
It's
Hmm.
something that I think about a lot. Um, and the opener I actually did write to be an opener.
Hmm.
This idea, it's kind of trite, but this idea that I am haunting my own house, hilariously, this record's coming out right as Halloween is happening. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for the longest time I felt like the antagonist in my own life,
Mhm.
Hmm.
like my own worst enemy type of shit. And so I think
Yeah.
I wrote that song "How Now Spirit" to be the first song where it's basically saying like I'm haunting my own house. My
Hmm.
fears are of my own making,
Hmm.
and that was me actually looking back on times in my life that the repercussions of those chaotic moments still linger.
Hmm.
And so yeah, that was supposed to be an opener. The closer Trebuchet was not supposed to be a closer. It just felt like the right way to do it.
Mm.
But there were other songs in the record that I removed just because they were too depressing to sing.
Oh yeah.
So the track order has changed a bit.
Gotcha.
Okay, gotcha. And that was the track listing kind of as you're going to put it out, you're looking back at the old track listing and saying, oh, those don't need to go out anymore? Or was that just as you were building it?
Yeah, no, the record was finished, and then I asked Tooth and Nail to remove 2 songs because they were too
Okay.
depressing.
Yeah, that's completely fair. All
Yeah.
right, just curiosity. Yeah. And would you be able to tell us where Headspace is at while you're creating this record? I know it was a couple years back,
Yeah, long
but
time
if you're
ago.
able to kind of maybe rehash it a little bit.
When I made the record, when I actually recorded it, I was in Cisco, Texas, the middle of nowhere, Texas. There's this studio that used to be there called Ranchland, and
Okay.
we were watching lots of horror movies, and we were putting like, you know how recording studios often have like a big like a TV,
Mhm.
so you can like put stuff up while you're recording. We had like survival horror video games playing. We watched It because it had just come out.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah. Fucking love that movie.
we were just really kind of inundated in anything scary.
Mhm.
Um, and there were actually moments while recording the record that it sounded like people were trying to break into the studio. And there's actually an audio clip on the album right before the song Lust Tripper where we're talking about like the noises we're hearing. Like, what do you think that noise is? And one person
Mhm.
says it's ghosts. One person says, I think it's real people.
Mhm.
Um, I think it was just the building like shifting in the wind.
Yeah.
So I think on edge. On edge. That's the best way to describe it. Ruminating on like really depressing themes like loneliness and isolation,
Mhm.
death. I mean, it sounds so heavy, and I don't want to paint some picture that I'm like always that way. But this record in particular had a kind of a heavy vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better now? 6 years
Oh,
removed?
yes, absolutely. I can say this with full sincerity because I wouldn't bullshit you about it.
Mhm.
I am so thankful and happy. Like I my life feels stable. I write a lot of other music now that reflects, I think, a healthier place.
Mhm.
I'm just happy. And my kids are beautiful. My wife's amazing. So I'm a pretty happy person. And there's a lot of gratitude. Even today, I woke up just feeling so thankful for everything. I was like thankful for really small things.
Mhm.
Like this sounds so funny, but really small things in the natural world, like a flower or a
Mhm.
bird. And then thankful for really, I don't know how to describe it, like big, bold, epic, um, yeah, big things like my children getting along. And
Yeah. Mhm.
so, yeah, I'm happy.
That's good.
I'm so fucking happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
Hell
thanks.
yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah, for real. It's good. It's good to be here, you know?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it
Hell
is.
yeah. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends in the dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I don't think I've ever made a party album.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
was
the way
gonna
you're
say, I don't
describing
think
it,
that
I
one
don't know
applies.
I mean,
about that.
I do play in a band called Telephone Friends,
Mhm.
and the producer described it as like demented Beach Boys on a weekend bender. That's kind of a party album, but
That's fucking awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you should listen to
Yeah.
that, Telephone Friends.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say, I mean, I don't know. I don't even really like. I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. That sounds so messed up, but I just don't have a lot of time. So
That's fair.
I would say that if autumn is settling in and you're feeling a little melancholy, like put it on your headphones and go on a walk and listen
Mhm.
to it. You could listen to it with friends, but it's I don't know. Something about that feels weird. It'd be like,
Mm.
do people listen to like I'm trying to think of depressing melancholy music. Like, do people listen to Elliott Smith with their friends? You know what I mean? Like, you don't really do that. You like listen to Elliott Smith while you're on the bus. So I
Yeah.
just,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
so I don't know. I just think this record, even though it's loud, maybe I have had a few people post reels recently of them like bench pressing and shit to my music to this record. So
Fuck
maybe it's
yeah.
so maybe it's a
I love
workout
doing that
record.
shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you should bench press to my record.
hit your PR with this record.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what that means, but yes, that.
Personal record. Personal
Oh,
record.
okay. Does that either dates me or shows that I don't work out? Both?
I would say the latter.
I mean, it's
It's okay.
fine, guys. It's all
Me
right.
recently, I just learned what it meant. I didn't know either, and I was like, "What the fuck is a PR?" Like,
Press
what are you
release.
I mean,
so
I know that's-
literally, yeah.
My brain goes to
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
relations.
Yeah, I'm too
like, yeah.
I'm too music industry coded to work out.
Exactly. Yeah. Every time they say it, press release. Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
That's like a surprisingly difficult thing to do. I would say catchy,
Okay.
melancholy,
hmm
alternative. Because there's so many genres of rock music, like it's not hardcore, it's not metal, it's not even that heavy or loud, but it is like it's alternative rock. So that I don't know,
Yeah.
catchy, melancholy, alternative. That seems all right.
Yeah. That
Hell yeah.
clicks.
All right. And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
No. Mm-mm.
That's
There
a
isn't.
perfectly valid answer.
I would just hope that they would connect with it. So yeah. I mean, I don't want them to be depressed. So maybe by the time they're done, but see, I want to say hopeful, but I don't think it's that type of record. So no, I don't want people can feel whatever they want.
Yeah.
Damn right. Sounds good. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of the album, positive or negative?
I mean, when we recorded this record, we recorded 24 songs in like 8 days.
God damn.
And it was a lot of work. And these songs were split into 2 different batches, and one became my 3rd solo record, and now this one obviously is the other. It's my 5th solo record. And so it was hard. It was a lot of work, especially for the drummer, Braden Kruger. He did a lot of the heavy lifting to just track like so many songs in such a short period of time. And the drums are featured really heavily on this record. So maybe that wasn't even anything I did. That was just him being really good at what he does and working really hard. No, and it was a joy to make. Like the only personnel on the record are Braden on drums and me on everything else. And I love playing bass on this record. Like it was a lot of fun to track bass on an alternative rock record because I haven't really done that a lot. So
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Love it.
So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
That's a good question. I'm a pretty healthy eater. I learned in my 20s on tour that like you eat like crap, you feel like crap. So I would probably need a protein, so I would get some like decently good quality trail mix. I would probably get some water and maybe some popcorn or something that's not like really dense. That's so boring.
No.
Truth.
That's the
truth.
classic shit. That's what I get too. Man, I get gas station grapes. So I genuinely like
Gas station grapes?
Yeah, man.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're washed and de-stemmed. You just pop them like popcorn. It's crazy. I love them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Grapes, frozen grapes, I found, like if you're trying not to eat, they're such a good, like if you're trying to eat well, it's a good dessert. It's
Absolutely.
like if I'm watching a movie, frozen grapes, man, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Don't put me in a room with frozen grapes.
Okay, good.
This fucking
Good to
guy.
know.
He just demolished the whole fucking bag. I'll walk past the gas station grapes when I'm in a convenience store. Every time I think about it, because I know how much Gloria enjoys them, but I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know.
They're so good, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah.
Someday I will try them, and I'll think of you.
Yeah. Actually, give me a review. Please let me know what you think. Unless they're like really shitty, then just like don't.
Only
That's
you want to live
I
in a
should have the
vacuum.
right to tell you.
Yeah.
I should tell you I should have the right to tell you if they're bad.
No, you're completely right. I just
She just
If
doesn't
you
want
lead
her
me-
perception to be ruined, you know?
Exactly. I
Yeah,
love
if you
gas-
lead me astray, I should be able to tell you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You should be able to say those gas station grapes fucking sucked and you should do better. And I'll be like, okay, yeah.
Dude,
Sure.
my sister
Mhm.
was a nanny for one of the wealthiest people on the planet who will not be named.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And one time she brought grapes home from their house. And I kid you not, I've never tasted anything so good in my life. I don't know where these billionaires get their grapes, but
Whoa.
man. So, anyways, I wonder, not because I've tried like the best grapes in the world, what would it
Yeah.
be like to try the gas station grapes?
You're talking to a grape connoisseur, bro.
No, you just piqued my interest. Like I'm like, I need to find that shit now. What do
Yeah,
you
well, I
mean?
don't know. I don't know how. I mean, like maybe they have their own like grape farm
Vineyard?
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
What the fuck? Do you think were they like big
they were big.
grapes?
They were big and green. Yeah.
Were they crunchy?
I don't remember them being crunchy. I just remember them being cold
Okay.
and just like tasting better than any grape I'd ever had.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. I gotta find that shit.
What
Yeah.
billionaire
should.
has the best grapes in their house?
Best grapes.
Well, I was thinking just Google like what is the best quality grape on the planet,
Yeah.
and there will probably be some like small, locally sourced grape.
Yeah. Somewhere in like I don't know,
Sicily?
island. Maybe. Yeah, and they have it like flown in,
Hmm. Yeah.
Name me some of those. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Damn. Sorry. Grape discussion over. I'm sorry.
No, that was good. What? That's the best part of the interview so far. I mean, no
Oh my
offense.
god.
No offense to your other stuff. I'm just saying, I thought this was great.
No, I'm having a great time talking about grapes. I could talk about them forever.
We
I'm like
hate,
so
we hate
sick.
talking about music too. It's why we do this.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. So, on the topic of food, if your music project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
I feel like my music is pretty middle of the road,
Mm.
and it's not super experimental.
Hmm.
It's not. There's like just enough of an edge. You know what I mean? It's not edgy, but it's like there's just a little bit of an edge. So I need to find a food dish that is not too experimental, but just enough of an edge. I don't know, maybe like a bacon cheeseburger
Ooh.
that also has like an extra ingredient to make it a little weird, just like ever so slightly a weird burger. So
Mm.
like a bacon cheeseburger with I was gonna say like really expensive grapes like on the burger.
Okay. See, now
Billionaire
we're
grapes.
talking again. Yeah.
A bacon cheeseburger with billionaire grapes in it.
Billionaire grapes in it. Okay, we're back to the good conversation again. This sounds
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just really bad, or just a terrible thing to do to expensive grapes.
Yeah. Yeah, just fuck them up. Fuck them
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's like my main philosophy in life.
Yeah. Fuck up all the billionaire grapes.
Yeah, just find something really good.
Yeah.
Fuck it up.
Fuck it up.
Fuck it up, man.
But
Oh,
like in
yeah.
a positive way. Fuck it up.
This is a really good interview for a faith adjacent artist to be doing. I can't wait for most of my listeners will be okay. This is good.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, they can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A couple might be upset, but that's all right.
You know what? I sing about rolling a joint on this record. And like if this is this, yeah, that's going to be the thing that pisses them off more than
Exactly.
this conversation about grapes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think this will actually be the more lighthearted conversation. Yeah, they'd love
probably.
this. They're gonna eat it up.
And then eat them grapes up.
I was gonna say, is
You're
that
goddamn right.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
I think that I would want like really good homemade sourdough bread with butter and homemade jam. And I think
Ooh.
for a drink, like a really good cup of black coffee, probably.
Mm. Yeah, damn right. That's
Oh,
solid
yeah.
as fuck. I love it.
Have you ever seen the movie The Pianist?
I have not. It sounds very
very-
familiar though.
It's very depressing. It features Adrian Brody, but at one point he's starving
Mhm.
and somebody leaves him some food and they leave him like homemade bread and jam. And since that scene, I've always felt like if I was starving, that would be what I would want someone to leave me. So maybe that's why my brain goes to it.
Okay. I mean, it sounds classic. It's good. I
Yeah.
fuck with it. Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
I mean, I love far future science fiction a lot, although most of the far future science fiction worlds that I love are terrible, terrible places. So I think I would actually really love to live in Narnia, but
Ooh.
like post the defeat of White Witch. So like
Mhm.
everything's as it should be Narnia. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, good pick. I
Hell
love
yeah.
Narnia.
And I've not asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
I really love like kind of like aqua shades of green. So not quite teal, but like um or like rock moss in the Pacific Northwest. They're like
Mhm.
it's like the greenest moss you've ever seen. I
Yeah.
like those. So anyways, green, blue kind of. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's an important question.
it
Thank you.
Hey,
is.
I think I'm actually wearing a shirt. Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God. On brand.
Hell yeah.
yep.
Damn right.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
No.
Not the record, socials, nothing.
I mean, not really. I mean, you could find my music on Bandcamp. I really love Bandcamp. I don't think this record will be on Bandcamp because Tooth and Nail doesn't usually put their records on Bandcamp. But no, just if you can come to a show, come to a show, chat with me. I'm really bad at socials. I try to make content that I would like.
Mhm.
I don't really like a lot of content, so maybe that's why I don't make a lot of content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing, man.
All right.
All good.
Well,
Mhm.
thank you for listening. It's been John Van Deusen, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.